Are you aware that in Muay Thai, we actually have different positions or places that we put our hands depending on what we're trying to do? If not, keep watching. So I just thought it would be a good idea to share with you guys my system of how I teach the positioning of our hands in different moments of the Muay Thai game, so to speak. So I have kind of like a system of put your hands here in this moment, put your hands here in this moment, and it'll make sense once I kind of unpack it a little bit. Now, I'm not saying this is the only way to do it. There's obviously different variations, exceptions, but as a general guideline, especially when someone's new, I like them following this. It just makes the most sense to me. All right, so starting off, obviously, we've got our guard, right? Our guarding stance, especially if you want to be a bit more in our traditional guarding stance, a little bit of a higher guard, longer guard, depending on how far away our opponents are. So what I generally say is the further away they are, the further away our arms can be. Now, obviously, we wouldn't want to put them all the way out here, but generally out here is nice and long. All right, I like having that space. I like framing. I like trapping with my arms. As they get closer, I start bringing my hands closer. Or if I want to get in close, I start bringing my hands in close. That way, I'm a bit more protected against the elbows, which will be coming at me. Okay, so we have our guard. Generally, I like to say just above the eyebrows. I like to look through my hands. Okay, as if I'm further away from someone and I don't have the fear of the head kick, then sure, relax your arms. You know, if some people prefer to have a bit of a lower guard, sure. All right, but again, for a beginner and they want just one answer to multiple questions, just have your hands up, okay? Now, when it comes to actually striking, I actually tell people to bring the hand to the jaw or to the cheek. And the reason for this, as opposed to maybe having my hands up here, is I find if I want to get really good rotation and torque into my punches, I need to be able to actually move my shoulders. And if I bring my hands to my temple, I'm probably still going to get quite a lot of power through there, but I'm not going to get as much power as I would if my hands are here. So it's kind of like a happy medium. General rule is, if my hands are down, I've got way better rotation and movement through the shoulders, but now I'm exposed. If I have my hands super high, I'm protected, but I'm not getting quite the same kind of movement through my shoulders, which is required for a good punch. So that jaw is that sweet spot where I'm still protected, but I'm still getting that movement through my shoulders. So whether I throw a jab cross or a hook or an uppercut, I'm getting that movement. Now, a slight exception to this rule is generally when I'm throwing a jab, I'll just kind of keep my hand up here because the jab doesn't require the same kind of rotation that a cross or a hook or an uppercut might need. So hands on the cheek or the jaw when I'm punching. When I'm blocking, all right, so let's say they're throwing a hook and I'm covering, or if I'm doing a bit more of a deeper cover, all right, my hand is on my temple. Or if I'm blocking against a straight punch using my front forearm block, my other hand is always on my temple. So when I'm blocking, I've got one arm covering, now the other hand's on my temple for backup, keeps the head stable. But again, now I want protection. Now I want my temple to be protected and I want my jaw to be protected. So cheek for striking, temple for blocking, guard up here for when I'm in my stance. Now, a little bit of a bonus one, I think I've covered everything that I wanted to primarily say so far, but a bit of a bonus one is whenever I throw an elbow, instead of my hand coming to my cheek, all right, I actually bring my hand to my eyebrow. So when I throw an elbow, it's eyebrow, because in case my opponent is throwing an elbow at the same time, a main area is going to be right above that eyebrow, and that's that area that gets cut quite big. And I actually learned this personally from first-hand experience. One was actually my first title attempt. I kept getting this guy with the elbow down the middle, but I was putting my hand here, and he's very smart. He picked up on it, and in the third round, he did this beautiful spinning elbow, and as I went in for it, he got me with this he got me this elbow right across here, cut me open. I got TKO'd from that. The doctor stopped it because the cut was too big, the blood was going into my eyes. So since that day, I've always been like super protected with my elbows. You can get a lot of power from here without needing to drop your hands. And like I said, this isn't the only way to do it. You know, I've seen guys way better than me drop the hands and get the job done. But when I'm teaching it, I like the hands on the eyebrow. So recapping all that again, guard can be further, it can be tighter if they come in closer, and as a general rule, hands just slightly above the eyebrows. When I'm punching, generally it's on the cheek or the jaw, getting the rotation through the shoulders, or just on the side of the head for when I'm throwing my jab. And then when I'm actually blocking attacks, my supporting hand or my second hand is going to be on that temple. If I'm covering there on the temple, obviously covering against straight punches might be, if I'm using more of a traditional Thai guard, might be a little bit higher up here. And then with elbows, my hands are on the eyebrow. Now when I'm throwing my kicks and my knees, I usually just bring my hand or my fingertips to my temple. So kicking, can't show you right now because of my knee, kicking or kneeing, I just bring the hand to the side because again, that's going to give me the most protection on the side of my head. Guys, I hope you enjoyed that. I'll see you next time.